Today on Concordia News.
Students turn to sugary energy drinks to keep them up during exam time.
And the votes have been cast for the Concordia Student Union elections.
We all know about the Big Mac, but Montreal is offering up a tasty alternative.
Hello, and welcome to Concordia News. I'm Trevor Hanna.
And I'm Natalie Nanowski. Springtime is officially here, but for some students, that means spending more time indoors studying. To stay awake during exam time, some students rely on energy drinks. While they do provide a boost of energy, new studies show that they can damage your teeth. Natasha Lapos has more.
Ellen Gilly is one of many university students who consume energy drinks on a daily basis. For the past 4 years, she's relied on them to help her study and stay awake. You can always find one in her refrigerator.
It doesn't really seem like there's much choice in the matter. I want to get my schoolwork done, I want to do well, and I mean, you can take a look at my bookshelf. There aren't enough hours in the day where I'm actually productive unless I take something to boost my energy.
Since 2004, the energy drink market has more than tripled. It is now a $10 billion industry. But are students aware of the potential health risks associated with their consumption?
I really don't care at this point. That seems really far down the road.
Recent studies have shown that energy drinks can be detrimental to oral health and development. The reason being that on average there's a quarter cup of sugar in an 8-ounce can. They're most popular among students aged 18 to 25 who are also at the last stages of their dental development. At Amical Dental Clinic, Dr. Anthony Vasiliadis says he's already noticing the effects.
Oftentimes you will find the tooth color is discolored at the occlusal surface. The occlusal being the top part of the tooth, which is the only thing we actually see clinically in the mouth. And sometimes you will see dark grooves in them. There's a deposition of sugar in those grooves, and then bacteria follow, and then the holes are formed.
So with exam season around the corner and students like Ellen drinking up to 3 cans a day, what can students do to keep their teeth healthy?
If they are addicted to it and they need their Red Bull hit, then they definitely have to do their flossing, and they definitely have to do their toothbrushing, and they should be able to take care of it that way.
Natasha Lapos, Concordia News, Montreal.
A new executive committee is ready to lead the Concordia Student Union. Reporter Jason Quartz joins us now to talk about this year's election. So Jason, who's the big winner?
Well, the polls are closed, the results are in, and it's all fusion. The Purple Party won by a margin of almost 3-1. And while Community's chances might have seemed pretty slim from the get-go, it didn't stop them, or Fusion for that matter, from campaigning hard. This was the scene a couple of weeks ago, when the Concordia Student Union kicked off its election campaign. The annual tradition known as Poster Night saw students take to the hall building at midnight, vying for prime poster real estate. Because of this tradition, bulletin boards around Concordia have been covered in orange and purple for the past 2 weeks. Purple for the incumbent slate Fusion, orange for the upstart Community slate. On Monday of last week, the presidential candidates for both slates took part in 2 debates, including this one on CJLO radio. The platform ideas they presented were just as varied as their colors. For example, Fusion was campaigning to ban the sale of bottled water on campus, while Community was proposing the creation of a currency to be used exclusively at student-run organizations like the Frigo Vert.
Looks like it was a busy campaign. What was the voter turnout like?
Not very good, but pretty much on par with past CSU elections. There were 3,177 votes cast. To put that in perspective, there are over 33,000 undergrad students at Concordia. So that's a voter turnout of less than 10%. And in speaking with Community's leader, Mike Zanakis, he told me he thought the low voter turnout would be beneficial for them, as he felt his supporters were more likely to vote than those of Fusion, and that a low voter turnout would better ensure a majority for him. But I guess it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, I guess not. Well, thanks for the update, Jason.
Going for a doctor checkup can be quite the hassle, from travel time to sitting in the waiting room exposed to germs and illnesses. But thanks to a new initiative at St. Mary's Hospital, Patients may be able to get some medical advice from the comfort of their own home. Sarah Levitt has more on internet consultations.
With a web camera like this attached to your computer, you don't need to go to the doctor's office to get care. A group of healthcare workers from St. Mary's Hospital have teamed up to provide essential health services through video conferencing. Colorectal cancer patients are the first to use the chat. They are provided with a laptop and a web camera after being discharged from the hospital. Nurse Marie-France Dubé does weekly checkups with patients via the internet.
They've been trained by the company, and it's easy. Everybody can use that. Anybody.
This service saves the healthcare system both time and money, and it is also particularly beneficial for those with mobility issues or the elderly.
Some of us folks are not as agile as I could be. You know, moving around, getting about, and then you have this at home. I mean, it's a godsend.
But like any new project, the kinks need to be worked out.
Sometimes it's a problem because the connection cannot be made.
While the initiative doesn't entirely replace a visit to the doctor, it hasn't gone unnoticed. The Canadian Partnership Against Cancer recognized it as among the best in Canada. St. Mary's hopes something like video chat will soon be integrated into the national healthcare system. But for now, they're taking it one video chat at a time. Sarah Levitt, Concordia News, Montreal.
Reporter Owen Harris is following the city's street gang problem. He joins us in studio now with the latest. Owen?
Thanks, Trevor. According to police, the recent 25% reduction in gang-related crime is due to an increased police presence. I went to the Montreal neighborhood of Saint Michel, where a local youth group says crime reduction is not all about having more cops on the street. Lunch break is over at François Perrault High School in Saint Michel. Kenny Renoir Wright and his teammates are making sure students are back in class. They work for Maison d'Etudes outreach program Patrouille de Rue. Earlier that morning, they and other workers met to plan the day and decide what schools to visit. The organization's goal is to keep teenagers out of trouble in the Saint Michel neighborhood. Harry Delva created Patrouille de Rue 18 years ago. Back then, street gangs and other youth crime were on the rise.
Assez souvent, les jeunes me disaient, oui, mais vous ne comprenez rien, vous êtes un adulte.
A lot of young people used to tell me that I didn't understand them because I'm an adult. That's why I decided to find young people who tell them the same thing I would. Workers like Kenny Renoir say it is important for teenagers to see them as older and trustworthy role models, not as adults or police informants.
Moi, je me vois plus comme un grand frère, personnellement.
I see myself more as a big brother. That's how younger people consider me, in fact. My younger sister's friends call me their big brother all the time when I see them around school during work. Renoir, who is 19, says the key to connecting with teens is using a mixture of friendship and authority.
Parce que la relation que tu as avec eux, c'est plus une relation.
You somehow have to be friends with them, while at the same time being an authority figure. That's essential to guide them on the right path. According to Harry Delva, the program has helped make the atmosphere in Saint Michel more positive among teenagers. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Owen. The Alouettes captivated audiences with their Grey Cup win last season. But during their downtime, many of the players are still entertaining fans. I followed the team to an elementary school. Not only did they play an unlikely sport, but they taught the kids some important lessons. Avon Coburg is getting up close and personal with his young fans, but this time he's on the basketball court. The Alouette star running back and his teammates played a friendly game against the teachers of JPPS Bialik.
We want to let the community know that we're accessible. They can get to us and we can be reached and we can talk to the kids. And
although the teachers brought their A game, the Owls won by 12 points. The children clapped for both teams. But it wasn't all rebounds and layups. After the game, the sports team hit the classroom and presented lessons that children could use both on and off the field.
So what I'm saying to you guys is you got to have sportsmanship. You have to work with the person next to you and also with the guys across from you that you're playing against.
Despite being in awe of the players, the message was clear.
They said respecting and responsibility.
The visit from the Owls made a dreary Monday a little bit more interesting.
It must have been quite an exciting day for those students. Are the Alouettes visiting any other schools during the off-season?
Well, since January, the team has visited almost 30 schools. They have 2 more schools on their list, one in St. Leonard and the other in Greenfield Park, and they're going to wrap up that tour at the end of April. That gives them just enough time to prepare for their season, which starts June 13th in Winnipeg.
All right, maybe that'll be the start of another championship season. And now it's time for a quick look at a couple of stories from the local arts and entertainment scene. James Cameron's Avatar set box office records with more than $2 billion in sales. Montreal's Ubisoft made the Avatar video game. So far, it's only had a small fraction of the movie's success. Cameron and Ubisoft worked closely on the game, but critics say the partnership has failed to produce great results. The game uses 3D technology, just like the movie, but only gamers with 3D televisions can get the full experience. Meanwhile, swap boxes are now part of the scenery near Ubisoft's offices in Mile End and across the rest of the Plateau Montreal borough. These colorful boxes are mounted on building exteriors as part of an experiment in sharing that started in Ottawa. Swappers leave an unwanted possession in the box and take someone else's in exchange. But like most street art, each swap box has had a short lifespan. And that's today's Arts and Entertainment Report.
For many of us, grabbing a quick lunch means heading to a fast food restaurant like Wendy's or McDonald's. But with burger joints popping up all over the city, it seems like there's a lot more variety than just the fast food staples. With more on how the burger has gotten a makeover, here's Jamie McCallan.
Sizzling burgers on the grill. This should be enough to make anyone's mouth water. Using high-quality ingredients and a lot of love, specialized burger joints are sprouting up all over the city. From buns to picks to gourmet burger, it appears that the burger is in. Instead of a quick visit to McDonald's, consumers are now making a night out of it. The menu at M Burger boasts a burger with truffle oil and foie gras. Price tag, $39.
I mean, we're all about the experience. You know, you go to Wendy's or McDonald's, it's fast food. You're in and out, you're paying, it's not very expensive. But there's no experience. You're going there to eat and that's it.
Here we are in Gourmet Burger, located on Bishop Street. While M Burger is more pricey, expect to pay no more than $10 here, only a few more than you would at McDonald's. The fast food staples aren't likely to go anywhere anytime soon, given their stronghold on the market. But, evidenced by the increasing number of these specialty burger bars, it seems like people's burger standards may be going up. But it turns out that you don't have to break the bank to enjoy this popular trend.
You could walk out of here, you could spend $15, or you can spend hundreds of dollars. It's all about what you drink.
Just by looking around town, it's hard to deny the growing popularity of these burger joints. And judging by what we've seen, this trend is indeed picking up. For Concordia News.
Well, those burgers look delicious.
They sure did. Well, that's it for today's show.
Thanks a lot for joining us here at Concordia News. I'm Natalie Nanowski.
And I'm Trevor Hanna. Have a good day.